Welcome to History with Herodotus, where the sands of time are sifted to reveal the fascinating tales that have shaped our world. Today, we embark on a journey through the ages to explore one of the most significant reforms in human history, the Gregorian calendar reform. This sweeping change, which would eventually synchronize the rhythms of human activity across the globe, has a rich and complex backstory, full of intrigue, innovation, and insight into the human condition. As we delve into this captivating narrative, let us begin with the ancient civilizations that first attempted to harness the passage of time. The earliest calendars, born from observations of celestial movements and agricultural cycles, were often tied to the whims of nature and the dictates of local traditions. The Babylonians, for instance, employed a lunisolar calendar where months began on the first sighting of the new moon, while the ancient Egyptians used a 365-day civil calendar, which, though close to the actual solar year, resulted in a discrepancy that would add up over centuries. The ancient Greeks, with their characteristic ingenuity, made significant contributions to the development of calendars. The Athenian astronomer Meton, in the 5th century BCE, discovered the Metonic cycle, a 19-year period after which the phases of the moon would recur on the same days of the year. This breakthrough allowed for more accurate predictions and calendar keeping, laying the groundwork for future innovations. As the Roman Empire expanded its dominion over the Mediterranean world, it inherited and adapted various calendrical systems from its conquered territories. The early Roman calendar, with its 10 months beginning on March 1st, Martius, proved cumbersome and was eventually reformed by Julius Caesar in 45 BCE. The Julian calendar, as it came to be known, introduced a solar year of 365.25 days, with an extra day added every 4 years, a leap year, to account for the fractional part. Though this reform brought a measure of standardization, its slight inaccuracy would, over time, accumulate into a noticeable discrepancy. By the Middle Ages, this discrepancy had grown to approximately 10 days, causing confusion among astronomers, mathematicians, and clergy who relied on accurate calendar keeping for celestial observations, agricultural planning, and liturgical purposes. The Catholic Church, with its vast influence across Europe, began to take notice of this issue. Scholars such as Bede, in the 8th century, and later Roger Bacon in the 13th century, advocated for reforms to correct the Julian calendar's errors. One of the key figures who would play a pivotal role in the events leading up to the Gregorian calendar reform was Christopher Clavius, a German mathematician and astronomer. A member of the Society of Jesus, Clavius was instrumental in promoting the idea of calendar reform within the Church. His expertise and influence helped pave the way for a comprehensive overhaul of the calendar system, one that would synchronize the rhythms of human activity with the celestial movements that had inspired its creation. As Christopher Clavius's advocacy for calendar reform gained momentum within the Church, a new pope, Gregory XIII, ascended to the throne in 1572. Recognizing the need for a unified and accurate calendar, Pope Gregory XIII convened a commission of scholars, including Clavius, to tackle the long-standing issue. This committee, formed in 1572, was tasked with devising a new calendar that would rectify the errors of the Julian system and bring the Church's liturgical practices into harmony with the celestial movements. One of the key challenges facing the commission was determining the precise length of the solar year. To achieve this, they drew upon the work of astronomers such as Nicolaus Copernicus and Johannes Kepler, who had made significant contributions to our understanding of the Earth's orbit around the Sun. By combining these findings with meticulous observations of celestial events, the Commission arrived at a more accurate calculation of the solar year, 365.24219 days. This figure would serve as the foundation for the new calendar. On February 24, 1582, Pope Gregory XIII issued a papal bull, Inter Gravissimus, which introduced the Gregorian calendar to the world. The new system dropped 10 days from the month of October in that year, so that October 4th was followed by October 15th. This correction ensured that the calendar would remain aligned with the seasons and the astronomical observations upon which it was based. Furthermore, the papal bull established a new rule for leap years. Years divisible by 4 would be leap years, unless they were also divisible by 100, in which case they would not be leap years, unless they were also divisible by 400. The implementation of the Gregorian calendar was not without its challenges. Many Catholic countries adopted the new system immediately, but Protestant and Eastern Orthodox nations resisted the change, viewing it as an attempt to exert papal authority over their affairs. As a result, the adoption of the Gregorian calendar occurred at different times in various parts of the world. Germany and the Netherlands, for instance, adopted the new calendar in 1583, while England and its colonies waited until 1752, when the British Calendar Act of 1751 came into effect. The year 1582 was a pivotal moment in the history of timekeeping, as the Gregorian calendar began to spread across the globe. In Spain, for example, the new calendar was introduced on October 4, 1582, and the following day, October 15th, marked the beginning of a new era in Spanish chronology. Similarly, in Italy, the city of Rome, being the seat of the papacy, was among the first to adopt the Gregorian calendar, with October 4th being followed by October 15th. As the years passed, the Gregorian calendar became increasingly widely accepted, and its use spread beyond the confines of Catholic Europe. In 1699, Russia, under Peter the Great, adopted the Julian calendar, but it would take another century for the Russian Empire to adopt the Gregorian system, which finally occurred in 1918, after the Russian Revolution. As the 20th century dawned, the Gregorian calendar had become the de facto standard for international business, diplomacy, and communication. The Russian Empire's adoption of the Gregorian system in 1918 marked a significant milestone, as it brought one of the last major holdouts into alignment with the rest of the world. Greece, however, would not adopt the Gregorian calendar until 1924, and even then, it was only for civil purposes, with the Greek Orthodox Church continuing to use the Julian calendar for liturgical purposes. The widespread adoption of the Gregorian calendar had a profound impact on the way people lived, worked, and interacted with one another. As the world became increasingly interconnected, the need for a unified system of timekeeping became ever more pressing. The Gregorian calendar's accuracy and consistency made it an indispensable tool for global commerce, science, and governance. As the renowned historian David Landis once noted, "The calendar is not just a way of keeping track of time, it's a way of organizing society." In the years that followed, the Gregorian calendar continued to evolve, with refinements and adjustments being made to its rules and calculations. The introduction of atomic clocks in the 20th century, for example, allowed for even more precise measurements of time, which in turn enabled the development of modern technologies like GPS and computer networks. Today, the Gregorian calendar is used by over 90% of the world's population, and its influence can be seen in everything from the scheduling of international flights to the timing of financial transactions. Despite its ubiquity, however, the Gregorian calendar is not without its critics. Some argue that its rules for leap years are overly complex, while others point out that its months are irregularly sized, leading to confusion and inefficiency. Nevertheless, the Gregorian calendar remains an indispensable part of modern life, a testament to the power of human ingenuity and cooperation. It has shaped the way we think about time, space, and our place in the world. It has influenced art, literature, and culture, from the works of Shakespeare to the rhythms of modern music. As the great historian Eric Hobsbawm once observed, "The calendar is a mirror of human society, reflecting its values, its contradictions, and its aspirations." That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.